Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to share with you a little bit of fun that I had using Derwent watercolor pencils to create a miniature painting for a dollhouse. Here's a list of some of the products used during this project. I taped off a workspace for the scene, which was a 2x3-inch landscape. I used a sketch pencil to sketch out a simple design, in this case a tiny sailboat and a sailing ship set in a harbor. Once I had the initial sketch, I started going over those lines with the Derwent watercolor pencils to lay out the paint foundation. Switching over to the paintbrush dipped into weather, I began to go over these colored lines to begin painting all the initial sketch lines and fill in the spaces of the boats and sails. More watercolor pencils and a variety of blues and purples added to create the ocean water. Back to the paintbrush to move the color around for shadows and highlights. I love how forgiving this technique is and how you can move with more or less water in brush strokes. And of course I'm using my smallest brush tips due to the small size of this painting. Using a variety of greens, tans, and browns, I work on the surrounding landscape and beach area, adding texture for trees and landscaping on the hillside. For the sky, I wanted it to be a setting sun with a storm rolling in, so I used orange, yellow, reds, blues, grays, and purples. What is nice about these pencils is you can add more or less. Just remember to let there be more dry time in between adding pencils. Trust me, I learned the hard way. If you don't have the paper dry enough before adding more pencils, you can damage the paper. Oops, the white pencil didn't work. So I reached for some white watercolor paint in a tube. And this paint worked out great. It gave me good texture for foam and the waves and also the clouds. I also used this paint to go back over the sails. Even though it doesn't look like it, there were dry times in between all these different segments. And I just kept going back with the pencil and then with the paintbrush to just kind of put in detail, do fine lines, and more color, less color, and just kept playing with it until I got it to where it looked right. The other thing that I found that was actually pretty cool with these is that if you make a little mistake, you can kind of dab it with your finger and it will remove some of the watercolor. Created and framed with flat wooden sticks that were 8 millimeters in width. I glued them together and then stained them with a stain stick and sanded them to age them just a bit. And it's all done. The perfect little miniature painting for the wall inside of a dollhouse. Once again, thank you for visiting my channel, and I hope that you give little miniature paintings a try. As always, like and subscribe. See you next time.